Goomba looks so sorry. Well then.
What if this never happened? Today, I am going to see if it's possible to beat Super Mario Bros. Wonder as a pacifist. What does this mean exactly? Well, I can't kill enemies, except for bosses for obvious reasons. Well, a boss is an enemy. Oh really? But I also can't use any badges, but I can play badge levels. And I can't use the Wonder Flower if I kill enemies with it. And of course, I will be talking about huge spoilers, so you've been warned. Alright, let's begin. So after Bowser did some stuff and became a castle, both Welcome to the Flower Kingdom and Piranha Plants on Parade were easy, and I got both Wonder Flowers without harming anyone. But in Scram Skedaddlers, this level was going pretty good until I got the Wonder Flower, because it was raining stars. So I was trying my best to jump over these enemies, and when I got to the Wonder Seed, I was afraid to kill the Skedaddler, so I was very cautious because I knew I could run him over in a second. But after chasing this guy, I got the Wonder Seed and it was all good. But the next level is where the challenge gets a little bit confusing. So after I went under these guys, this level's Wonder Flower effect has these guys that kill some enemies in the way. But the thing is, I added this rule in World 2, which I'll be talking about again in a little bit. So pretend that I only got one Wonder Seed, and I swear to God, if I see one God-forsaken comment in my comment section that I cheated, then I guess I'll know why. So then I got this Wonder Seed by literally just running. Was that the challenge? Here Come the Hoppos thankfully was very easy. I just wish I could push one of these guys. Okay, DJ, pacifists don't do that. But the level and Wonder Seed were both really easy. Roller Koopa Derby was a little bit hard because there were so many, Koopas. And the level just took me a while to beat, especially when I got to the Wonder Flower, because there were so many Koopas that just show up randomly. So after 20 minutes of my life that I'll never get back, I beat the level. Then Papa was a breeze. Since you don't kill them, you just give them a little boost. And most of the badge levels in this game really don't have any enemies. Almost all the levels. Not this level though, this one's fine. So after I did this level, we have our first Wiggler race, which had a few enemies here and there, but no enemies in my way. So I now have 16 Wonder Seeds, but I am going to complete most of World 1 first. Bull Rush Express was not possible at all, since the only way to beat this level is to get this Wonder Flower, which kills a bunch of enemies. Ignore the fact that I beat the level. But hey, enough of this level. Swamp Pipe Crawl isn't possible either, since you have to kill these guys to move the pipe over to this hole. But thankfully, Angry Spikes and Shrinking Pipes was really easy, and same with this badge level. So now with my 18 Wonder Seeds, we can move on to the first castle. And this level had a few enemies that spawn randomly, like all the castles in this game. But then I got to Bowser Jr., and this boss was really easy. But now let's head over to Petal Isles. So after I did this badge level, Leaping Smackerel was really easy. A little too easy. Rawbird Cove didn't have that many problems, except that I couldn't get the Wonder Flower because there were a lot of enemies that kill each other. But besides that, the level was easy. Brewbird Roast was also easy. And now we can finally head over to World 2. Out of My Way Valley was a little tricky to navigate through, but when I got to the Wonder Flower, I killed some enemies. Okay, I swear this is the last time I do this. Now remember, how many seeds do I have? Yeah, silence was the right answer. Pokepede Pass was pretty easy, and the Wonder Flower was surprisingly possible too, which is a nice change. So after completing this badge level, we can move on to Condarts Away. And this level was hard because the enemies were hard not to kill, or it might be just a skill issue. Yeah, that sounds more right. The main reason I kept on restarting was because I was trying to get this Wonder Flower multiple times without stomping on this guy's head, which was hard. I don't think I can even do this with the bubble power up, so I don't think it's possible to get this Wonder Flower. So I moved on and I beat the level. Jump 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 didn't have any enemies at all, and oh god, Pole Block Passage was interesting alright. So after I went up here, there was a Koopa right on this block, so I had to do a wall jump here, which was no big deal. But then we get into this area, and normally you're supposed to hit this Koopa to expand this pole. So I tried multiple techniques, but then I remembered about the bubble power up. So I went back a level to get it, and then when I got back, I used the bubble and got this jump perfectly, and the level was easy after that. Up and down with puffy lifts was going pretty good until these goddamn goombrats showed up, which step on this platform which lowers it, and I wanted to get up here, but after a little bit of patience, I got up here and got the Wonder Flower, which was easy, totally got on my first try. And after beating this level, we now have our first airship level, and this level was a piece of cake. But countdown to drop down was challenging because after this checkpoint, there's this lakitu that throws enemies, which was really annoying, but that was the only challenging part of the level. Cruising with linking lifts had not that many enemies that I could have killed, except for these birds, but that was really it. So after a zip go round, we have our next castle level, and I decided to collect the Wonder Flower for some reason, which actually made it a little bit harder for myself, but nothing too hard, and Bowser Jr. was of course easy. Now back in Petal Isles, the Wiggler race had a few enemies in the way, but that was really it. Uproar Uproar was next, and this level was pretty easy also, but when I got to the Wonder Flower, I was worried that this lightning was gonna kill these enemies, or if I hit them, but thankfully nothing happened here, and I got the Wonder Seed. Then I had just enough seeds to head over to World 3. The Anglefish trial was brutal, because these fish were really easy to kill, so it was really hard to dodge these guys, and I cannot get the Wonder Flower either, because I would have to jump on one of these guys, but thankfully I beat the level. So after this level, the Hoppy Cat trial was a little bit easier than the last level, since there was no way I could have stomped them, and the Wonder Flower didn't have any small enemies that the Hoppy Cats could have killed, which was nice. Are you serious? Okay, now we're fine, thankfully. So after this puzzle level, this badge level actually had some enemies this time. Finally, honestly. That were pretty hard to jump over. But thankfully, I got this on my first try. The Midway trial had quite a few enemies near the beginning. And again, the Wonder Flower isn't possible in this level, since I would have to kill this guy. There were some Hoppy Cats near the end, but nothing really hard overall. The Sharp trial was pretty hard because the second half of the course had a bunch of Goombas, which I had to jump over, but every time I jump, the Hoppy Cat jumps too, which sometimes flies away if I'm not careful. But after a few tries, I got through this level. The Sugar Star trial was easy without the Wonder Flower. And now for the final challenge. This will prove to me that I deserve the Royal Seed, and this level was easy. Cool. So after that, boss, I guess, we can head over to Jewel Block Cave, which was very easy, including with the Wonder Flower. And now let's head over to World 4. Our Mads on Roll was very easy, but the Wonder Seed made it a little bit harder, because I had to sneak through these guys and these guys, but then I beat the level. The Desert Mystery was also easy, but there were these enemies. Thankfully, I got the drill power up so I can just dig under these guys. But when I got to the Wonder Flower, this spike wall closes in onto these enemies. But again, the level was easy. So after I completed this badge level, the color switch dungeon had these enemies that look like pots, and that's what I like to call a dick move. And these enemies were everywhere in this level, so I had to reset quite a few times, but at least the Wonder Flower was pretty easy, and besides those enemies, there was nothing really hard about this level. And after getting some free Wonder Seeds, Secrets of Shava Mansion was unfortunately not possible, because I would have to kill this guy to proceed through the level. Why is it always these guys? Blooms of the Desert Skies? Oh god, where do I begin with this level? There are so many of these guys near the beginning, which were really hard to dodge, but the real challenge was this jump. So normally you are supposed to jump on this guy a few times to move on, but without using him, this height was way too high to jump normally. So was this level not possible? Nah, of course not. We have the bubble power up. So I backtracked to get the power up. Then when I got back here, I tried this jump and I got it on my first try, thankfully. But this wasn't the only thing hard about this level. So after I got to this checkpoint, there were some bloops that were coming from the sky randomly that I always, and I mean always, kill, which was very annoying, especially when they bump into the Goombrats, which I always stomp on too. Do you see the problem here? But after a lot of patience of dodging, we got to the very end, and oh my god, what am I looking at here? Is this like a Mario Maker level? But after, not joking, 40 minutes total on this level, I finally got through and I beat the level. Valley Full of Snoodles was kinda hard too because of these green guys that were hard to dodge since you can easily kill them. It did get a lot harder when I got this Wonder Flower, which makes things very slowly. But after I got the Wonder Seed, I beat the level. But thankfully we could take a break with Lights Out, Rise the Stage, and Treasure Vaults, which don't have any enemies at all. And now let's head over to the castle level. Thank God they didn't delete the castle this time. And this castle level was a very easy level, even with the Wonder Flower, which I didn't need at all. And after I kicked Bowser Jr. in the Wonder Seeds, we can finally head back to Petal Isles, to this airship level, which was very easy also. And so was Mama Mouthful. And now we can enter the 5th world. Upstream Downstream was very easy. Near the end of the Wonder Flower section had these two guys, but that was really it. Taili's Toxic Pond was also easy. Beware of Rifts was all good, but when I got to this Wonder Flower, some Shadow Koopas died when I hit this POW block, so I'm not doing this Wonder Flower again. But I needed only one more Wonder Seed, so I went back to Taili's Toxic Pond to find the Wonder Seed, and for the life of me, I could not find this Wonder Flower. And no joke, I was looking for this Wonder Flower for 20 minutes, so then I just gave up. And then I realized that I missed the level. Are you serious, dude? Wubba Ruins with the Wonder Flower and Grappling Vine 1 were both very easy, but Swaying Ruins was pretty challenging, mainly because there were so many tall boys that I had to jump over, and I mean a lot of tall boys. But thankfully the Wonder Flower and the level were both possible. Poison Ruins was surprisingly easy. So after I saved these poplins, we only have one more Royal Seed to collect. So I head back to Petal Isles and Garsher Lair. I don't know how to say this. This level was honestly pretty hard because there were so many enemies that were very easy to kill. I guess Mario's just too strong. And the Wonder Flower is 100% not possible since these enemies killed these guys. But after a little bit, I beat the level. So after this level, Muncher Fields was easy with the Wonder Flower. Then we have this Wiggler Race, and this was honestly kinda hard because there were some enemies that were really easy to kill, but eventually I beat the level. And now we can finally enter the very last world before Castle Bowser, where the Rumba Rule was extremely easy since I took the secret exit. And after this bad challenge, Rarg in the Ruins, yep, that's the name of this level. Wait, what is this level again? Oh god, are you kidding me? Can I take back what I said? No. Okay. This level was actually really hard. There were some invisible blocks that show up once you come close to them, and some of those blocks are really close to enemies, which is a huge problem. Near the beginning of the level, there were some Koopas that I had to save, unfortunately. And near this elevator part, I had to stand very still so I wouldn't accidentally kill any Buzzy Beetles. And near this area, I had to wait here so I don't accidentally kill any Buzzy Beetles. Are you seeing why I hate this level now? And unfortunately, the Wonder Flower is impossible, but after I went past that, I beat the level, thankfully. So after Grappling Vine 2, Floating High Jump 2 had this enemy on this block, so I decided to take damage through this guy, and then I beat the level. Pull Turn Burn didn't have that many problems, but when I tried this Wonder Flower, there were some enemies in the dark, so I said nope, and I beat the level. This airship level was easy, it was just like the other ones, but this time when I got the Wonder Flower, Bowser's gun fired on this enemy, so I skipped this Wonder Flower. But after I turned off the ship, I guess. Hot, hot, hot! Oh, no, I'm fine. That was just a level name. This level had some of these popcorn enemies, and these guys just go wherever they want. So I didn't really know where to go at some points, which usually ends up by me killing them. But thankfully, I got this Wonder Flower, and then I beat the level. Wavy Ride through the Magma Tube was easy near the beginning, and thankfully, the Wonder Flower is easy too. But after the checkpoint is where the level gets a little bit harder, because when these platforms go up here, I had to get on this platform with an enemy on it. But after that, I beat the level just fine. Dragon Boneyard had this area with a bunch of birds coming towards me, which wasn't that bad at all. But after I got the Wonder Flower, I beat the level. But now I just had enough seeds to get into this castle level, which was really easy, and so was the Bowser Jr. fight. Now we can finally head inside Castle Bowser. Missile Meg Mayhem, oh god, where do I even start with this level? So the intended way is to step on these guys to get across, but when I do so, they go down really slowly. So our only option is to use the bubble power up. So I tried bubble jumping a few times, and then this happened. Yeah! Let's go, dude. I finally got the jump. But when I got to this other room, oh, you have got to be kidding me. And this jump was even longer than the first one. And there was just this random cloud enemy for no reason at all. But during this first jump, I was getting a lot better at bubble jumping. And after a few more resets, I finally got this second jump. Then, oh my god, there's another one. But thankfully, I got this one on my first try. And then after one more jump, I got this Wonder Flower, and this effect feels like a celebration. I'll take any celebration after that level, but after that, I beat the level. High Voltage Gauntlet was pretty easy, but I couldn't get the Wonder Flower because I turned invincible, and there were a few enemies in the way, but besides that, the level was easy. Evade the Secret Bullet Bills was pretty easy, even with these enemies. Knucklefest Bowser's Blazing Beats was pretty normal. There were a few enemies here and there, but nothing too hard. And now, we can head over to the final level of the challenge, Bowser's Rage Stage. And this level, oh boy, this level was easy. I mean, yeah, there were a few big Goombas like, ooh, scary. But then I finally got to Bowser, and I thought about my journey and how far I've come to become the best person I can. And then finally, I hit Bowser 3 times, officially ending the challenge. And just like that, I beat Super Mario Bros. Wonder as a pacifist. This challenge was a lot of fun to do. If you guys want to see more Mario Wonder challenges, then let me know. And that's it for me. Okay, bye. Alright, you're gonna be in the audio for a second as I stop recording. Say hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube. Like and subscribe to the best YouTuber on the platform.
I'm eating pizza.